The primetime news on Equinoxe Television, live from Equinoxe Central News Desk in Douala, Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Hundreds of Christians have today converged on Kumbu in the northwest region of Cameroon and Douala in the littoral region to pray for the peaceful repose of souls of women and children massacred in Ntumbo, that is a village in the new subdivision of the Donga Mountain Division northwest region of Cameroon on the 14th of February. And of course, we shall also be telling you about a human interest story in the city of Douala, where police are currently hunting a young man accused of attempting to kill the junior brother. I am Fomi Armstrong Sander, live from Douala, Cameroon. Thanks for joining us. You are on to the primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television, live from Equinoxe Central News Desk in Douala, Cameroon. Thanks for staying with us. We begin this edition of the news on human interest page. Police in the city of Douala are currently hunting a young man accused of attempting to kill the junior brother. One of them was arrested and is currently being detained at the Judicial Police Unit in Bonanjo, in the heart of the economic capital of Cameroon. Smart Njikun Gabriel attended that event and compiled the following report.
Workers of Lanking, Cameroon, a Douala-based Chinese company manufacturing rubber shoes, have embarked on a strike action.
The Judicial Police Station in Bonanjo this Friday. 19-year-old Njibles is presented by security officials for an attempted murder on his kid brother. It all started when Nji's friend Duplex used his phone. I kept my phone on the table. My friend collected, then began a chat with a man on Messenger. The man asked my friend how he could be of help to him. My friend said he needed money. In need of money. The man gave conditions.
The man asked 2 pictures.
The man then asked for 2 pictures, and my friend sent just my own picture to the man's WhatsApp number. The man then said he can't give his money, but that my friend should sacrifice somebody if he wanted to be rich. He gave us just 3 days. With the 3-day deadline almost around, Njibles was confused, but his friend advised him on something. Since I was afraid to die, my friend advised me to use my kid's brother, and I did that as I took him towards Nyasa, where I used a blade to cut his neck. It was at a village called Misole, close to Edea, that Njibles attempted killing his brother. Fortunately, the kid brother, after his neck has been cut, he managed to move out of the bush, where some good Samaritan rushed him to the hospital. Doctors also immediately started work on him. If the sacrifice would have been real, both children would have earned $300,000 per month, which is equivalent to about 150 million francs CFA. Even though Njibles has been arrested, his friend Duplex is on the run.
And the atmosphere of some streets in the city of Douala was tense following a protest demonstration staged by workers of a Chinese company specialized in the manufacturing of shoes. Immaculate Fogwe was a part of that strike action, compiled the following report.
Workers of Lanking, Cameroon, a Douala-based Chinese company manufacturing rubber shoes, have embarked on a strike action. They are demanding the payment of extra working hours.
We work at 12 hours for 1 day.
We work for 12 hours a day and we get 2,000 francs as salary daily with no bonuses given. The least error we do, our salaries are being deducted. We work from Monday to Sunday. The workers also decry the deplorable working conditions they find themselves in on daily basis.
Because which would work inside is a very, very toxic.
The type of chemicals we use are very toxic. Some of my colleagues whose hands and feet were destroyed by the toxic chemicals have been sacked with no compensation given them. The worst thing about it is that we are not insured. As we are talking right now, our names have been written down, and after this, we are going to be sacked by our employer.
But the beginning, the boys, they suffer. The girls, they suffer. The people in the hospital,
The workers also claim that they had sought the intervention of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, but nothing has been done to remedy their situation.
Since 2017, it's a right complaint.
Since the year 2017, we started reclaiming for our workers' rights, but we haven't gotten any response. We clearly went to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, but nothing has been done to remedy the situation. We are calling on the government to intervene.
They beg the nation, the government, and the Labour to intervene for their behalf.
Officials of the company explained that plans of resolving their plight are on course. Meantime, a meeting is expected to hold at the Labour Inspection Office. The striking workers are hoping that concrete solutions to their grievances will be made.
The poor planning of some neighborhoods of the city of Douala has again come on the center of debate across the Republic of Cameroon. This followed the destruction of some houses and neighborhoods by rains that hit the economic capital in the late hours of Thursday, February 20, 2020. In the following reports, Manjikangebe tells us that the rains accompanied by inundations have had an enormous and negative impact on major neighborhoods of the city of Douala. His report.
Pieces of zincs and roofs displayed in the middle of the road. Business places without tops. Alongside several houses. These were just some of the first casualties recorded as Douala, Cameroon's economic capital, welcomed the first rains. The rain has terribly disturbed us. It has broken my house. Zincs taken away. In my room, nothing is inside. I don't know what next to do. A majority of houses within the New Bell neighborhood, like Ngange, Cimetière, Saint-Michel and Bassa, saw their roofs taken away by the strong winds that accompanied the rains. The rain started with a strong wind that caused all of us to move outside because it removed our zincs. Many people here at White House in Gange slept under the rain. It destroyed several homes.
Rain don't spoil houses there all, so we don't know how we'll go feed now.
Apart from the destruction recorded in some houses, a bigger incident would have been recorded if this mango tree fell on the house directly by its side. Reasons why members of the family have thanked God. As we were asleep, we heard the wind blowing outside. We didn't even know that this was how it was going to turn out, only for us to discover later that the mango tree has fallen. We thank God because nobody was injured.
Dieu nous a épargnés. On n'a pas eu quelque chose de dégâts dans la maison. Donc tout le monde est là en bonne santé.
The effect of the rain was also felt by this mission school at Saint-Michel, whose pupils couldn't study because the roof of the school was taken off. Apart from roofs that were taken away, several homes in these neighborhoods were flooded. In most of the areas Equinoxe visited, some have already started repairs, while others are hoping to see help from Good Samaritan.
The Bishop of the Kumbu Diocese of the Roman Catholic Church in Cameroon, that is of the Bamenda Ecclesiastical Province, has called on the entire world to rise against severe killings in the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. The man of God was speaking at a special mass organized at the cathedral in Kumbu in honor of those killed in Tumbo in the Ndu subdivision of the Donga Mountain Division on the 14th of February 2020. More in the following report.
Huge number of Christian faithfuls, predominantly children and women, answered present at the cathedral in Kumbu in the Boy division of the northwest region of Cameroon, Friday, February 21st, 2020. They responded positive to a special recruit mass organized by the Bishop of Kumbu, His Lordship Bishop George Kwo, in honor of civilians including children and women massacred in Garbu, Ntumbo village of the Ndu subdivision in the neighboring Donga Mountain division on Friday, February 14, 2020.
Give us a chance to live and dream for a future. We are not responsible for what is happening. We are only caught in it. We don't want to explain to us. Please stop killing us.
To the Bishop of Kumbu, the spiritual gathering is a message to the world.
And that's what Kumbu is telling the world. That's what Garbu is telling the world. That children have suffered enough. The world has seen how children have been murdered recklessly and brutally and in most human way. And that is why we're inviting the world to help us to bring about peace in our land. It's a cry to heaven, to God.
Within the cathedral, aggrieved faithfuls throw flowers closer to the photos of Garbu victims, and the Bishop of Kumbu says the killings in the Anglophone regions of Cameroon has gotten to the highest level humanity can take, and the world must rise up against it.
We are sending a very clear message that it is time that violence is stopped, that everybody who is in any way involved in killing, in destruction of human life for whatever reason, it's time that you stop. The whole world is watching and speaking to us from Garbu. Very significantly that this war should stop. That's the message.
His Lordship Bishop George Kwo of Kumbu presided at the recruit mass in the presence of Christian Cardinal Tumi, who joined faithfuls in his native Kumbu to cry against the destruction of humanity in Garbu, Ntumbo village.
And Archbishop Samuel Kleda of the Douala Metropolitan Archdiocese has called on authorities and the powers that be to stop the bloodshed in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Speaking at the St. Peter and Paul Cathedral in the city of Douala, the man of God reiterated that violence put aside through an meaningful dialogue that could be organized to end the 3 years and ongoing armed conflicts in the Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon. Innocent Azar tells us more in the following report.
Metropolitan's Cathedral Aqua was to pray for all those who were killed in Garbu, February 14, 2020, as well as victims of the Anglophone crisis and the Boko Haram hostilities in the far north region.
Pour nous chrétiens, nous avons le devoir de prier pour toutes ces personnes.
Every Christian has the right to pray for these victims.
Mais c'est que nous prions, surtout nous prions pour que la paix revienne.
In all, we pray for peace to return and for bloodshed to stop.
Le condamne plus, n'est-ce pas, d'être versé. Mais c'est ça le plus grave.
Archbishop Samuel Kleda, regarding the Garbu incident, says the issue is not about the conflicting number of persons killed, but for government to be conscious. Even a life means a lot, thus deserves protection.
Parce que la vie est sacrée. Notre gouvernement, ce qui nous dirige,
state authorities must take necessary measures to abolish violence once and for all.
Sachons-le.
Such a crisis cannot be resolved by violence, but a true dialogue where everyone will be listened to.
Le dialogue vrai Il faut écouter tout le monde.
He is aware there was a dialogue last year, but is baffled if during that major national dialogue, ceasefire was talked about for violence to end.
Et si n'est-ce pas la violence continue,
if violence is continuing, it means the problem tabled was never resolved.
A été posé, mais n'a pas été résolu.
However, we continue praying so that peace returns in all 10 regions of Cameroon.
Région de notre pays.
After the solemn mass, His Lordship Samuel Kleda said, if the crisis in the 2 English-speaking regions of Cameroon ends, it will therefore imply the prayers and wishes contained in the letter addressed by the 16 bishops all over the globe to the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, have touched the heart.
Innocent Azede reporting, and we take you to Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region of Cameroon, where our correspondent Mbustela captured or took interest with somebody living with club food, whose dreams have been dashed as a result of the condition. The Cameroon Baptist Convention Health Service has, however, launched a socio-economic empowerment program of persons living with that kind of disability. Her report.
I was born with club foot deformity, and to tell you it's not an easy task to grow right to this day. Yeah, I thought I was walking the side of the foot, and then I never had shoes. It was not easy, it was painful.
Euphemia Damien did not only grow up dealing with pains, but stigma, as his peers considered him different.
Stigma is not actually easy growing up as a disabled person. There was one day I got into class, and these big guys, bully guys, stepping through the door, he just sent his leg and strip on it. I had to fall down. The whole class laughed. I went back home. I went back home from that day, and I stayed at home for over 2 weeks right going to school.
Damien is one of the many Cameroonians living with special ability. He, like many, have had their dreams altered.
Oh, Jack, I love football. I love football just so much. Football has been my game. I love football, and I would have loved to be a professional player, but I had limitations. Though at the level of my primary school, I used to play ball at my own level, but at times it hurt my feet, so I will not play for long, and I cannot run for long.
Although he could not achieve his football dream, he is today grateful for one thing.
My first son was born with club feet, and I'm only happy that with the help of CBC, I've been able to overcome that of my son. My son will grow up never knowing that he was born like me, because he has undergone treatment and he's fine. Nobody can even know, not even his friend around. Nobody can know unless they are told.
The Cameroon Club Food Care Program, initiated in 2014, is today counting the achievements made so far.
From the Club Food Project, we have over 1,500 patients who've already treated us far. Those patients are there working, they are verifiable, and they have come, most of them are beginning to come out of the treatment phase, which is 4 years. And that is proof to the fact that it works. And that is why with this proof, the minister could agree with us that the pulsating method of treatment is the gold standard, which is effective. It's been proven by us over these past 5 years of the project.
But the number of persons living with disability is increasing. This is one of the consequences of the socio-political crisis in Anglophone Cameroon, according to Awa Jacques Chirac, Programs Manager of the CBC's Socio-Economic Empowerment of Persons with Disability Program.
There are far more persons with disabilities than projected in 2014. But secondly, in terms of the impact of the crisis on those with disabilities already existing in the region, it's been devastating. Take Bingo, where we had the inclusive school and sign language center. Bingo is a very tumultuous community, and there we no longer have that school functioning as it used to function. The same thing in Kumbu, where we know the situation. The inclusive school and braille center is no longer functioning in full capacity as we expect it to function. So what that means is a cross-section of the learners with impairments are no longer able to access school.
It is against this backdrop that the Cameroon Baptist Convention Health Services launches the 4th and 3rd phases of the SEED program and the Cameroon Club Food Care Project respectively.
And that's why we have all all this representation here, mayors, delegates, stakeholders, so that you don't leave the people living with disabilities behind. We are going to forge ahead to launch the fourth phase of this project to continue with services for people with disabilities in spite of the problem we hope should subside soon. We have lost a lot. Even the gains we had, we have lost them because of the political crisis that we have. And again, it may be we could have done more in the next phase, and we may be limited still by the crisis if that continues, if that persists. Definitely, yes, we will not reach where we ought to reach, but we have to have it moving.
Much has been done, but more needs to be done to reduce the incidence of mobility impairment caused by club food and improve social inclusion of persons with disability.
Considering the difficulties faced by small and medium-sized enterprises across the Republic of Cameroon with regards to getting finances to fund their projects, the government of Cameroon has introduced a new concept known as crowdfunding to generate funds. The concept was launched in the city of Douala, Cameroon's economic capital, on Thursday, February the 20th, 2020, by Cameroon's Minister of Finance, Louis-Paul Moutaze, who was accompanied by his colleague of small and medium-sized enterprises. Louis-Paul Moutaze explains the concept in the following extract.
But the problem is that the SMEs are facing a lot of problems to be allowed to be given credits. And this is why we are trying to look for all the sources of funding, what the SMEs want to do. And we think that the crowdfunding could be one of the way we can take so as to enable those SMEs to be given some credits. Crowdfunding, as you can understand, is funding by the crowd. That means that everybody can come, everybody can say that this idea is a very important one and I would like to participate. And this is why it can be in the equity or it can be just a gift given by some people to try to help somebody who would like to create an SME.
Minister Louis-Paul Moutaze also reiterated the need for Cameroonians to build trust in order to see the project succeed.
Create this confidence. We have to create this confidence. And I would like to let you know that when you go in the society, we don't know what we call tontine and so on. That means that there is a certain level of confidence that already exists. And we think that when an idea is a very good one, people will like to earn money. If you can enter in the shareholding of an SME, I think that you can be trusted on the fact that you will earn money and that you have to participate in the equity of in the shareholding of the company.
The reports from the National Vote Counting Commission has been handed to the Constitutional Council in Cameroon ahead of the publication of results of the legislative elections of February 9, 2020 across the Republic of Cameroon. In the same light, some mayors have already been elected in some councils across the Republic of Cameroon. A case in point are mayors of the 5 subdivisions of the Donga Mountain Division in the northwest region of Cameroon, as presented in the following report by Immaculate Fogwe.
Musa Shameful is the new mayor of Cambe. He succeeded Ngabi Paul Banter during an elective council session where he grabbed the ticket with a 100% vote from the 41 councillors. He will be assisted by Ajara Danjuma, first deputy, Mbaya Tamfo, second deputy, Nsankri Santos Yembe, third deputy, and Fomi Elvis Kwa, fourth deputy. The elective council session was chaired by the senior divisional officer for Dunga Mantum Division, Do Simon Quenti. The mayor-elect of Cambe promised development to the people of his municipality.
Cambe, from the time of the Cambe division, has been a key player in the politics of this nation. When you are a key player, you deserve key consideration, and that consideration has to start now. From the government to us, we always stand for what is right. Even when there are challenges, we believe that those challenges can be sorted in a manner that we can preserve lives. So therefore, we are not insensitive to the challenges that the nation is going through, but we are rather concerned about the method we may want to use to handle those challenges.
Abdul Kanfon Buno is a new mayor of the Nduk Council. He won the elections during an elective council session of the Nduk Council where he got a 100% vote. He called on the councillors to join him to make Nduk regain its steam as far as education is concerned.
Nduk subdivision has remained behind as far as development is concerned. The nearest subdivision, the nearest neighbor, Campbell subdivision, when you go there, you see the change. You see that children are going to school. You see that the business is booming. But here in Nduk subdivision, our children have not gone to school for some time now. And so I want that all of us councillors, the deputy mayors, and the population of Nduk subdivision, that we should come together, try to make our rightful choices, because we cannot continue to keep our children at home.
Messager Council during the February 9th twin elections was a serious bone of contention between one-time mayor of Messager, Kinder Simon, who resigns from the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement political party, to the Alliance for National Democracy and Progress, giving a tough time for the CPDM party. The Messager Council elective council session saw the incumbent Sami Mbata for Kemba as the new mayor of the Messager Council. He grabbed the ticket with 25 votes, giving him a 100% win. All of this was done under the watchful eyes of Quentin Simon Do, Senior Divisional Officer for Dunga Mantum Division.
In fact, we talk nothing but the language of development. Development. All the projects I have in my drawers, I am going to again leave and stay here only for some time, lobbying in Yaoundé and abroad. So I'm very, very aware of the task in front of me, and for the confidence bestowed on me, I am very, very, very ready to put me in my optimum so as to merit bigger chances to be given to me by my very people.
An election which has been described by many as a win of change for Dunga Mantum Division.
And before we leave you, we give you this note. Final preparations have been done in Boya, chief town of the southwest region of Cameroon, ahead of the 2020 Mount Cameroon Race of Hope coming up tomorrow in Boya. According to reports from the southwest regional chief town, features of the mountain race of Hope could be seen at the Muliko Sports Complex, where the kickoff for the event will be tomorrow. We shall be coming with images of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope 2020 from Boya surely tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we end this edition of the news on Equinoxe Television. We thank you for your very kind attention. Wishing you a blessed stay in the company of programs on Equinoxe Television.